What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Gearbox. It's your boy John, and I hope all of y'all are having a great weekend. So, as I said in the previous video, I will be doing a lot of road trips. Well, I did one this weekend, Sunday. I have one next weekend and the following weekend, which is good and bad. Like, obviously I enjoy driving my awesome car because it's fun and, I don't know, driving's cool. But I will also not just be driving, but I drove to Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, driving to my home back in Ohio next weekend, and then I'm driving to Knoxville for a bachelor party the following weekend, which that'll be fun. Need to stay hydrated though. But anyway, as of right now, I'm driving back from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm all decked out in Clemson. Went to the ACC Championship game, support my brother. It was a great time. Congrats, Clemson, ACC champions. We'll see where they end up for college football playoffs. As of now, they've been getting just gypped in the rankings and whatnot. But I think they made their point last night. I believe it was like 62-17 or something like that. Not a good showing by Virginia, but anyway, congrats to them. But the real reason I turned on this camera today is not to talk about the ACC Championship in football, but rather car guy shit. So what I want to do, I wanted to go through a list of a couple things that you should just try to avoid / not do, or I don't know, just something in relation to being a car guy. And some of y'all, I mean, obviously there's a lot of different interpretations of that, but maybe as we go through the list here, you'll kind of realize what I'm talking about. So to start off with number one, and this only applies to people who drive a manual transmission, but it's good knowledge. So number one, in order to not feed the stereotype or just be a douche in general, number one has to be, I'm sure you guys have seen it, where you're sitting at like a red light or something and you're waiting for the light to turn, but people just sit there and like feather the clutch and all this shit, so they go forward, roll back, don't do that. Like, you just look stupid. And I think a lot of people do it just to be like, oh, I drive a manual transmission. Like, no one drives these anymore. But it's like, come on. I mean, for starters, you're just burning your clutch. And even though it's not a lot, you're not at high RPMs or anything, you're still going to, like, wear it down over time. So just don't do that. I don't know. It's annoying. All right? So that's number one, and I think we can all agree on that. I think some of us are pretty guilty of it. I wouldn't say I'm guilty of it necessarily, but there are times when I'm trying to like guess a light and kind of get off the line and not do anything crazy, but just not have to sit at the line and roll back and go, just kind of do it. But I don't know. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Anyway, number two, and this applies to all car people, and this is for safety. This is for not feeding the stereotype of how car guys are or whatever. All of us naturally like having fun in our cars, right? We're car guys, we spend hours on hours modding them. We do all this stuff to have a fun car, a fun platform, especially for like daily drivers and stuff like this is. I work on it, I do all this stuff, but number two has to be, just don't be a dumbass. Like, I had a teacher in high school who that was his only rule in the classroom. And once again, it could be interpreted many different ways, but don't be a dumbass. So what do I mean by this? Well, Jim, John, Adam, this means, in my mind, don't be like dropping the clutch, don't be doing freaking burnouts in the middle of a parking lot, don't be driving like an asshole, like, just don't don't end up on a YouTube video of like car guys doing stupid shit and like either ruining their car or crashing into other people or whatever, getting the cops called on. Just don't do that. Now, it is fun. Don't get me wrong. Not that I can do it in this car, but I've driven my cousin's Mustang a couple times, and you know, freaking fairly decently powered Mustang, rear wheel drive. You know, if you want to drop that clutch and burn a little rubber, that's fine, but do it at a place where that is like not frowned upon, aka a track, or like I know I said not parking lots, but if you went to a parking lot and you knew the owner or you approached the owner and it was like in the back of a freaking warehouse thing and they say it's okay, go for it. That's their property. If you get consent from them, that's fine. But just don't end up on a YouTube page for the wrong reason, I should say. I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's putting other people in danger. It's putting your car in danger. What I would hate to see happen, and I've seen it time and time again on these YouTube videos, you know, you're rocking some 3-piece wheels, you've got all the suspension, and then you decide to fucking hoon it into a curb, and then your 3-piece wheel is destroyed, your probably lower control arm, and a bunch of other suspension components are absolutely shot because you rammed the wheel sideways into a curb at probably 30 miles an hour. Now, if that's what you want to do, and you want to fix all that crap up, I mean, if you have a beater or something and you do that, whatever, but just let's try to stay away from that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so that is number 2. Now, number 3, kind of making sure I'm covering all the points here, but number 3 for me, and this is going to vary from individual to individual, but I would say number 3 has to be, you know, take care of the cars that you work on. You know what I'm saying? Like, wash your car, make sure the maintenance is done like timely and correctly. Just be presentable with your car, right? Like, going back to really point 1 and 2, I mean, you spend all this time working on your car, making it fun, making it fast, or whatever, stancing it out. Make it look presentable. Now, I'm not saying you have to go wash your freaking car every 2 hours of the day, but I'm also not saying let it go for 2 months, especially with the winter coming up and my fellow northerners with the salt and everything. I mean, the corrosion, the rust, all that sort of stuff. Like, A, it just looks like shit when your car is coated in a white powder, but it also hurts the car, hurts the paint, all this stuff. Just make, even if, like, I'm about to do this, I'm making this road trip, I'm 3 hours into this drive or something like that. Right when I get home, I'm just gonna go to one of those self-service car washes, not a freaking automatic car wash, because I hate those things. I don't want my paint scratched. I don't want anything to happen to my car in those. But go to a self-service little sprayer thing, put some freaking soap on it, spray it off. You know, it's getting colder. It's hard to really detail it all the time. But just like, man, go wash your car, clean the inside, make it look presentable. Like, you know, in my opinion, you spend all this time doing this stuff to your car. You know, you want people to obviously ask you about it because we're all egotistical assholes as car guys, but also, you know, hey, that guy works on his car, but he takes care of his car, you know what I'm saying? So that's number 3. Number 4, what should we pick for number 4? To be honest with you guys, I'm kind of doing this off the fly, which I think is good because it's not some premeditated, like, equation onto how to be a dickhead car guy or something. Number 4. What should number 4 be? I've got one. All right. So, knock on wood here. I've never gotten a speeding ticket or any sort of like reckless driving ticket or something. that kind of goes back to point one of, you know, enjoy your car. Like, I'm on these back roads right now, and like, yeah, I'll give it some gas, I'll do some downshifts, like, you know, have fun with it. But number 4 has to be, you know, in the event that you get pulled over, which inevitably it's going to happen to all of us, especially having sports cars and just standing out to cops in general. Be respectful, man. Keep your freaking hands on the wheel. You know, you don't necessarily, don't admit guilt. You know, if they're like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm going to guess speeding. Oh, how fast were you going? Don't admit how fast you're going, but just be like, you know what, officer, I was probably going over the speed limit. I apologize. Here's my license. Ask before you start reaching around for shit. You know, can I get my license and registration out for you? Be respectful, be semi-honest, and just, it goes a long way. You know, these cops put up with some bullshit, and they, at the end of the day, in today's society, they're trying to make it home to their wife and kids, or whatever the case may be, and not get shot or not be put in harm's way. They're just trying to do their job. Just like when I'm making sales calls and people are like, oh, fuck off, I don't like talking to you. Well, dude, I'm doing my job just as you should be doing your job. So let's kind of cool it with this whole, like, I'm greater than thou, like, don't call me. Just don't do it. At the end of the day, they're trying to do their job. You're trying to be safe and have fun at the same time. But, you know, it goes a long way. You see time and time again, hey, you know, if you're honest with the police, man, just, you might get a ticket, you might not. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to get out of every ticket, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than if you're lying and trying to hide crap and you're fidgeting around in your car. Just keep it chill. Number 5. Now, we could group a whole bunch of stuff into this category, but what I'm going to say for number 5, and I think is very important as just an all-encompassing thing, is, you know, I kind of talked about it in the last video with my friend with the Miata. Miatas are not my thing. I think they can be done up right, and they look good sometimes, but they're just not my thing, you know? And the point of me saying this is, you know, at the end of the day, we're all car guys, right? Guys, girls, whatever. If you see someone with a nice car, or, you know, you see that they're modding their car, whether it be with wheels or with an exhaust or exterior mods, like the front lip, or just give them a compliment, man. Like, at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? I love when people say, dude, that car is sick, like, that's awesome, how long have you had it? Just opens up a conversation. Little comments go a long way. I was actually driving on this road that I'm on right now, coming home from work last week, and I pulled up at a stoplight, and there was a Mustang that was pretty freaking low. And it wasn't just low and it kind of looked like shit, it was like done right, had the wheels to go with it, good fitment, all that sort of stuff. And I rolled down my window, I'm like, hey man, nice car, that's awesome. And he reciprocated, gave me a good comment. And literally we're sitting at the stoplight, I'm like, oh, are you on coils or bags, you know, and just shooting the shit, right? Just, that's all we want, man. Like, we're all car guys. I'm not out here to berate people for not liking Japanese cars or whatever. Like, just respect each other, man. That's it. But anyway, guys, that is 5 things to do or not to do as a car guy to kind of keep the peace, keep, you know, love everybody. But anyway, I really, really, really appreciate y'all tuning in for this video today. Please hit subscribe, like, notification bell, that whole spiel, and go hit up my Instagram at Gearbox Autos. I'm really liking where this is headed. Like I said, you know, I'll be on these road trips making videos for, you know, a good bit, probably a couple videos per road trip to really, you know, get the video count up. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate it. I hope y'all had a great weekend. Go kill it this coming week, and I will see y'all next time.